So, good students, welcome again to Doll's House. This time round, with me is the theme Parental and Filial Obligations. Uh, the analysis and the narrations are done by Mr. Sherlock. Welcome. In the text, in the play, Doll's House, there is a strong emphasis throughout the play on the importance of parental and filial responsibility and of the effect that the actions of parents have upon their children. Parental obligations. Nora, Torvald, and Dr. Rank believe that a parent is obligated to be honest and morally upright because a parent's immorality is passed on to his or her children like a disease. For instance, Dr. Rank has a disease that is the result of his father's wickedness. Dr. Rank implies that his father's immorality, which included affairs with many women, led him to contract a venereal disease that he passed on to his son, causing Dr. Rank to suffer for his father's misdeeds. He talks about the unfairness of the sins of the father being passed on to the son. Torvald, on the other hand, talks about a parent's immorality being passed on to the children like a disease. He voices the idea that one's parents determine one's moral character when he tells Nora, and I quote, almost everyone who has gone to the bad alley has had a deceitful mother. That you can find it on page 30. He speaks about Krogstad poisoning his own children with lies and immorality. He also refuses to allow Nora to interact with their children after he learns of her deceit, for fear that she would corrupt them. Nora is referred to as being like her father, having inherited a lot of his qualities. It is also important to note that she never had a mother, with Anne Marie fulfilling the maternal role in her life. Anne Marie was forced to give away her own child to take on the role of Nora's maid. In contrast, Nora chooses to leave her own children at the end of the play. Filial obligations. Filial means the duties, feelings, or relationships which exist between a son or a daughter and his or her parents. The play suggests that children too have an obligation to protect their parents. Nora recognized this obligation, but she ignored it, choosing to be with and sacrifice herself for her sick husband instead of her sick father. Mrs. Linde, on the other hand, abandoned her hopes of being with Krogstad and undertook years of labor in order to tend to her sick mother. Mrs. Linde has fulfilled her filial responsibility by dedicating her life to care for her mother at the expense of her own personal happiness. Her mother's illness has directly affected the life she has led and the personal decisions that she has made. Ibsen, the author, does not, however, pass judgment on either woman's decision, but uses the idea of a child's debt to her parent to demonstrate that familial obligations is not one-way traffic, it is reciprocal.